Week 18 of the NFL season is finally here. The final week of the regular season. We're this close to the playoffs. We got some good games, we got some bad games, but I'm going to predict every single one of them. We're going to start off with the first game. It's a Saturday game. The Cleveland Browns versus the Baltimore Ravens. This one's pretty simple. Baltimore has to win and they secure the AFC North. Cleveland has to lose and get a better draft pick. That's the reality. Humongous spread. It's 19.5 points. I think the biggest of the season so far. I think the biggest spread in like the last 3 or 4 years. It's been quite a while since we've seen a spread this big. Browns are starting Bailey Zappi. Browns are doing everything possible to lose this game. And that's the reality. Ravens need to win this. Browns don't. The Ravens are going to win this game. And will they cover? That's the key question. I've been going back and forth. I'm going to go with Ravens to win and Ravens to cover. I believe they will play strong enough to cover. Can Cleveland keep it close or put a backdoor cover on it? Maybe it's a humongous spread, but I don't have enough faith to say Cleveland will cover considering Bailey Zappi's playing and that Ravens have everything to play for. I'm not betting this one. I'm staying the fuck away from this one. I want nothing to do with it. Probably won't even watch it because it's going to be a snooze fest. Ravens are going to beat the Browns and they're going to cover the spread. Ravens win the AFC North. Next game, the second Saturday game, the other AFC North matchup, the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. This game's interesting. Cincinnati has to win this game. If they win it, it doesn't necessarily mean they're in the playoffs, but it gives them a better chance. I mean, if they lose, they're eliminated automatically. If they win, they have a chance at least. Steelers are in a weird position. Let's assume for a second that the Ravens win. Obviously, Ravens should win. If the Ravens win, Steelers would be playing for position. They no longer can win the AFC North, but they can play for position, meaning they beat the Bengals, they're 5 seed, they lose to the Bengals, they're 6 seed. In this hypothetical, it's a huge difference. Steelers as a 5 seed play Houston, Steelers as a 6 seed play Baltimore. Big difference in my opinion. I think Steelers are more than capable of beating Houston, but Baltimore could pose a lot of problems for them. With that being said, I'm going with Cincinnati to win, Cincinnati to cover. They are playing harder. They've on a 4-game winning streak. They know how much this means. Even if they don't make the playoffs, they have to at least put on an effort. And to fall under 500, which if Bengals lose, they're going to be under 500. If they win, they're going to be over 500. It's going to be bad. Zach Taylor might get fired. A lot of people might not get re-signed. I know T. Higgins is up for contract. There's a bunch of people who could be off the team. They are going to play harder than Pittsburgh, and they are going to win. The other aspect that we need to take into consideration is that Pittsburgh may rest starters. I don't think they will. Mike Tomlin's not the type of coach to do that shit. But in theory, they might because if Ravens win, which they'll know at that point, they may not need the starters. In any case, I'm going with the Bengals. I'm going with them to win. I'm going with them to cover. I'm not going to bet it. I don't really have a lean too much in this game. Too much variabilities. There's a couple other games I'm going to bet on. There's not many games for me to bet on this week. But in any case, Bengals win. Bengals cover. Next game. Now we move on to the Sunday slate. We're going to start off with the Chicago Bears versus the Green Bay Packers. Interesting little game here. Packers are still playing for position. They can move up and down, I think, between 6 and 7 seed, if I'm not mistaken, which could be a big difference. I mean, you could be playing Philadelphia, or you could be playing, I think, who is it? Tampa or Rams. It could be one of those teams, or Falcons, technically, also. In any case, the Bears are absolute dog shit. Caleb is trash. This Bears team is abysmal. Packers will go out there and bitch slap the Chicago Bears. Plain and simple. Packers are way better than the Bears defensively, offensively. Packers almost got fraud checked earlier in the year by the Bears, funny enough. But the Bears are checked out. The season is over. They're going to end the season on, what is it? A 9-game, no, more. Because they were 4-2, and they're going to be 4-13. Holy shit. An 11-game losing streak. 11-game losing streak. No, wait, am I fucking math off? No, it is 11 games. I don't fucking know. You guys can tell me. Bears are going to lose 11 in a row. They're atrocious. They're a mess. Yeah. Packers win. Packers cover. I'm not going to bet it because I don't really see... I don't have enough faith to put in the Packers. And it's one of those games where I feel like Bears could try to at least hopefully win to end the season on a high note. But this Bears has just been, whoa, what a bad year for the Bears. What a bad year. Yeah. Packers win. Packers cover. I'm not betting it. Next game, the Buffalo Bills versus the New England Patriots. This is a very intriguing game because Bills are resting starters. If they're not, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Maybe Allen, Cook, all these guys play one drive, the first drive, and that's it. But it makes no sense. Bills have the number 2 spot locked in. They're not moving up. They're not moving down. It's number 2 spot for sure for the Bills. So, more likely than not, we're going to get fucking Mitch Trubisky starting for the Bills. On the Patriots side of things, it's a double-edged sword. Patriots lose, they officially secure the number 1 spot, number 1 seed in the draft. They win, they're going to jeopardize this number 1 overall pick. So it's weird how, what do you do as a Patriot? Or as, I guess, Gerard Mayo? Do you actually try? Or do you just throw the game? They're going to try. Gerard Mayo may or may not be coaching for his job. There's a lot of rumors right now. And more importantly, besides the number 1 overall pick, Patriots are going to have a fuck ton of assets this summer. Well, I should say this spring, I guess. They are going to have, I think, the highest salary cap, and they are going to be big, big spenders. They want to show all potential free agents that, hey, we are a good destination, we're going to pay you a lot, and you're going to ball out with Drake May, who seems to be the future, I would say, of the NFL. The guys looked really, really good, even with the shitty-ass Patriots O-line. I'm going to go with the Patriots to win. I'm going to go with the Patriots to cover. This is one of the games I feel confident enough to bet. I don't see why Patriots wouldn't try in this one. And the Bills are playing their B team, second string guys who don't give a fuck. It's all about next week for the Bills. Patriots win. Patriots cover. Pretty confident in it. I could see Patriots fucking some shit up. And they want to at least end the season high note. Yeah, it's going to jeopardize their number 1 overall pick. But don't worry, they'll still finish in the top 5, most likely. Next game, the Washington Redskins versus the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know where to go with this one. Redskins are going to play their starters again, similar to the Packers. It's about position. Position could flip. So I don't think Redskins are just going to, say, oh, fuck it, we don't care. On one hand, I could see them benching people in the second half, depending on how the other game is going. Cowboys are in a weird position where they're 7-9, so it doesn't really matter draft pick-wise. Yeah, you lose, you'll get a better pick, but it's not like they're in the top 10, so it's not that important for the Cowboys. I don't know where to go in this game. Some of these games, I just literally have no fucking idea at all. How to do it, where to do it, why to do it. I'm going to go with the Redskins because I ride with the Redskins this year. I'm not betting this game. No way, no way, no way. Redskins should win. Redskins will cover. But Cowboys are so bipolar. That's my issue with the Cowboys. They are so fucking bipolar. One week they're balling. The next week they look like absolute dog shit. I have no idea what Cowboys team we're going to get. At least I know if JD plays, the Redskins will ball and play hard. I got the Redskins to win. I got the Redskins to cover. Yeah, I'm staying the fuck away from this game. There's no way I'm betting this shit. Next game, the New York Giants versus the Philadelphia Eagles. This game was supposed to be so good. Saquon is making a business decision. He's choosing to rest instead of play. Because how funny would it have been if Saquon set the single season rushing record against his former team? Oh, that would have been just so funny. So funny. John Mara would be going crazy. He's not. They're benching him. Everyone's getting benched for the Eagles. There's no reason to play them. Same thing as the Bills. Eagles have the number 2 overall spot secured. They don't need to play. It's all about next week for them. Giants are in a weird position where they already fucked up the tank by winning last week versus the Colts. And I think it's going to be similar this week. Giants are going to go out there. They're going to play hard for no reason, and they're going to continue to fuck up the tank. Drew Lock is playing for a future job. Dayball may or may not be coaching for his job, even though I'm hearing rumors he's probably going to get fired. In any case, Eagles don't care. Eagles won't try, and it's stupid for the Eagles to play any of their star players because why risk injury in a meaningless game? Giants win. Giants cover. I don't know if I'm going to bet it. Maybe I'll sprinkle a little some on it, but I'm probably more likely than not going to stay away from this shit show. Giants win. Giants cover. They are so lucky Saquon's not playing. They are so lucky. Oh, it would have been so funny for Saquon to play. Next game, Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are done. The Colts are done. These guys are checked out, 1 foot out the door. They don't give a shit about this game. They really do not give a shit about this game. And I'll tell you a funny fact. The spread in this game has dropped pretty significantly. It was around like 5 points. It's like 3 right now. So, yeah, long story short, Colts will not try here. Jaguars, on the other hand, have looked good, especially with Mac Jones. For some reason, Mac is just balling. Dougie P, even though he's more likely than not going to be fired, is still going to coach. Everyone on this Jaguars team is going to try and fuck up, I guess the tank, you could say, because they don't care. Dougie P's not going to be here. Mac Jones may or may not be here. They're all playing for a job, and they have a lot more to play for than the Colts, who are just done. They checked out. They don't give a shit anymore after last week's embarrassment versus the Giants. I'm going with the Jaguars to cover. I'm going with the Jaguars to win. I'm betting on the Jaguars to cover. I like this Jaguars in this position. I really, really do. Probably my favorite game or one of my favorite games of the week. I'm going to bet the Jaguars. I'm going to bet them pretty heavy. I think they're going to beat the Colts pretty easily, and they're actually going to try while the Colts are going to be like, who gives a fuck? Jaguars cover. Jaguars win. I'm betting it. Next game. Carolina Panthers versus the Atlanta Falcons. Tough game here. Real tough game here. I'm going to go with the Panthers to cover while the Falcons win. Falcons are obviously trying. If they win and Buccaneers lose, they get in. If they win, Buccaneers win, it's irrelevant. Panthers just like to play spoiler. They love this position. I know the Panthers are going to love. I don't know if they'll win, but I think there's a little bit too many points being given to the Panthers. I'll take the Panthers plus 7.5 or whatever the spread may be. I believe they're going to give Atlanta a really tough time. They're going to fuck shit up, and they are going to cover Atlanta. But in the end, Michael Penix Jr. is a good quarterback. He won't let this Falcons team lose, even if they don't make the playoffs. Falcons will win, but the Panthers will cover. I like the Panthers in this position here. I'm going to bet a little bit on the Panthers to cover. Next game, New Orleans Saints versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like I said, Bucs are in a win and get in situation. All they need to do is win, and they get in. I am not going to bet this game. The spread is way too high. I can see why it's so high, but I don't have enough balls to take Tampa Bay minus 14. I believe Bucs will win, and I still will take for my official pick Buccaneers to cover, but I will not be betting it. What I will be betting in this game, which I'm hoping a lot of people, it seems like, will be betting, is Mike Evans props. I think he needs 5+ catches and 85 yards, somewhere in that ballpark, to finish above 1,000-yard receiving, which extends his, obviously, 1,000-yard streak. And more importantly, he's going to make a fuck ton of money, assuming he hits the 5+ catches and the 85+ yards. You know they're going to be playing for the money. Just feed Evans. I mean, good things happen when you feed Evans in any game, but especially here, you win and you make some money. So I'm going with Mike Evans props, 5+ catches, 85+ yards, whatever it may be, whatever book you have, just bet it like that. Tampa wins. Tampa covers. I want to see the Buccaneers in the playoffs. They are dangerous. Next game, the Houston Texans versus the Tennessee Titans. Interesting little game here. Texans don't give a fuck. They have locked in the 4th spot. They are not moving up. They're not moving down. Texans are the 4th spot in the AFC. Titans are in a weird position where they don't want to fuck up the tank. In this game, I'm going to take Tennessee to win. Tennessee to cover. I don't know if they're going to try here, but in any case, I'm willing to put a little bit of my dollars on Tennessee. I believe they'll play hard enough to beat the Texans B team. I mean, I literally couldn't even tell you who the backup quarterback for Houston even is. I have no idea who's starting for the Texans, but I doubt it's going to be Stroud or any of them boys. Tennessee wins. Tennessee covers. I'll sprinkle a little some on Tennessee. They're going to try. Texans don't give a shit. They locked up their playoff spot. They want to go into the playoffs with a healthy team. And that's what's more important, especially because they've been really, really shaky. In any case, Titans win. Titans cover. I'm going to sprinkle it. I'm not going to bet it fully. That's my pick for that game. Next one, we have the San Francisco 49ers versus the Arizona Cardinals. Weird game because neither of these teams give a shit. Both of these teams are trying to go to Cancun. It's not that far. Arizona to Cancun is not that far of a trip. I think both these guys are going to be on the same plane to Cancun. I'm going to take the Cardinals here. Cardinals to win, Cardinals to cover. Simply for the fact that I have been riding Arizona all season long, pretty much damn near every week. I believe they're going to come and try hard. I know Kyler has a prop. I think it's 50 plus rushing yards, somewhere in that ballpark, to get another incentive. If you're betting this game, bet on Kyler rushing yards over, since it seems like he's going to be running the ball a lot. San Francisco don't give a shit. I'd be shocked if Deebo Samuel even plays. I think Josh Dobbs is playing quarterback for the Niners. This game is completely irrelevant. I don't even know why I'm talking about it. I'm going to go with the Cardinals to win, Cardinals to cover. Next game, the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. This one is interesting because, again, the position here matters for the Chargers. They're locked into the playoffs, but it could be they're either playing Houston or, what's the name? Baltimore. So if Pittsburgh wins, then Chargers may rest starters. Because if Pittsburgh wins, they would have the 5th seed locked up, while Chargers win or lose would still be in the 6th seed. In that case, why risk anything? If Steelers lose, let's say, which I have them to lose, then Chargers winning means they move up to the 5th seed and play the Texans, which obviously is a lot easier than the Ravens. I am not betting this game. I want nothing to do with it. I don't know where it's going to go. For my pick, I'm going to take Chargers to win, Chargers to cover, but all of this can change depending on how the Pittsburgh game goes. So this game is tough to predict. I'm going to stay away from it. Chargers win, Chargers cover, but crazy shit could happen. Let's not get confused here. Next game, Kansas City Chiefs versus the Denver Broncos. Broncos look like they're in prime playoff position, and all of a sudden, boom, they've lost the last two. Who did they lose last week to? Oh, Bengals. And then the week before that, they lost to the Chargers, right, on Thursday night. They need to win this game. It's very, very simple for the Broncos. Win and get in. As for the Chiefs, everyone's resting. Mahomes is not playing. And the funniest part is that so many teams' playoff hopes, Miami's and Cincinnati's, lay in the hands of Carson fucking Wentz. That's insanity. Pure insanity. With that being said, I'm going to go with the Broncos to win and to cover. It's going to be funny if Carson Wentz fucks it up for them, but I doubt it. Carson Wentz is trash. And let's not forget, the Broncos defense is still monster, probably the best in the league. They're not going to allow some stupid shit like this to fuck up their playoff hopes, especially considering the last time they were in the playoffs was when they won the Super Bowl, which is 2016. Obama was fucking president when these guys last time played in the playoffs. So yeah, Broncos are going to win. Broncos are going to cover. I'm not going to bet it because there's no value in betting Broncos money line, but the Broncos spread is way too high, and I could definitely see Carson Wentz playing hard and keeping it close. So that's my concern with this game. I'm not going to bet it, but I'll take the Broncos to win, Broncos to cover. Next game, the Miami Dolphins versus the New York Jets. Tua Tugboat Viagra is not playing in this game. It seems like there's quite a few Dolphins who are not playing this game. It seems like no matter what, Dolphins are checked out and are just like, fuck it, who cares? Why would I even try in this game? As for the Jets, These guys love to win when they don't need to. Not only that, but there's a lot of rumors swirling around. This could be Aaron Rodgers' last game. In that case, I believe the Jets are going to play hard. It seems like it. Everyone's playing for a job on this Jets team. Everyone. Besides what? Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Quinnen Williams. Like, everyone else is playing for a job. So many free agents that are going to want to get signed. And after a shit season like this, they need to make a case for themselves. This is the type of game. I've been a Jets fan for a long, long time. This is the type of game the Jets win. Fuck up their draft pick, but at least Aaron Rodgers goes out on top. Jets are going to win. Jets are going to cover. I'm not betting it because I don't bet Jets games. I might watch it, make myself cry. It's hilarious. When I want them to win, they lose. When I want them to lose, they win. Jets are going to win. Jets are going to cover. It seems like Miami is checked out. Plus, Miami does have a history of incentivizing their coaches to throw games. If you remember the Brian Flores shit. So, you know what could happen. A lot of crazy shit can happen. So I'm not, sitting here like, oh, Dolphins are in a playoff position. They're going to win. Especially considering if you look at the spread, it's pretty much a pick'em. But Jets are still, a pick'em for the Jets is crazy. Crazy, considering Dolphins can still make the playoffs in theory. Jets win. Jets cover. Horrible season. I'll make a recap. I'll probably rant about them in the recap. Maybe like a full season recap or like a recap for week 18. But yeah, Jets fucking suck. They're going to win. They're going to cover. I'm not betting it. Next game, Seattle Seahawks versus the Los Angeles Rams. Rams, same thing. Locked up in their position. They're resting everybody. They don't give a shit. There's no reason for them to win or try here. Seattle is eliminated, but I guess you want to still play hard. But here is the key detail of this game. Props, props, props. Geno Smith needs to win the game, literally win it. I think over a 69% completion percentage and over yards. I forget the number on his yards. I want to say it's in the ballpark of like 200, like right around that number. You can Google it to be safe. But I'm taking Geno props. What you're going to do, well, at least we're not what you're going to do, what I'm going to do, Seahawks money line, Geno over passing yards or over the number that he needs to hit the incentive. Because that number is fucking ginormous. I think he's playing for like $2 or $3 million. Not 100,000, $2 or $3 million incentive. You know he's going to try here. And you know the Seahawks are going to want their boy to make some money. Why wouldn't you? So, my official pick for this game, obviously Seahawks win. I'll take the Seahawks to cover. I won't be betting the spread, but what I will be betting is Geno Smith wins the game, obviously Seahawks money line, and his over on passing yards, since those incentives are fucking huge, and you know he's going to try to hit them. Hopefully the odds are not bad, because I think Vegas is going to calculate that in, but hopefully you can get a good price on that. My official pick is going to be Seahawks win, Seahawks cover, but I'm betting those Geno props, Geno parlay. We'll call it the Geno parlay. That's what I'm officially betting for this game. He's going to hit that. He wants to make those money. I mean, would you say no to $2 or $3 million if you had the chance? I wouldn't. Next game, the game. The game we were all waiting for. The game I knew was going to happen. 14-2 Minnesota Vikings taking on the 14-2 Detroit Lions. Everything is at stake in this game. Number 1 overall seed and the NFC North. Isn't it crazy to just think for a second? Winner gets number 1 seed, meaning all the home. First of all, you get a week off, so you get a week off, and you get home field advantage no matter who you play. 5th seed has to play next week and does not get home field advantage unless somehow, some way, the 6 and 7 seed win and go through to the conference championships. Huge. Everything's on the line here. Lions have been unstoppable this season. Absolutely unstoppable this season. But on the offensive side of the ball, is just lights out. Even without Montgomery, Gibbs is still fucking killing it. The receivers Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra, Laporta, everyone is just eating for this Lions team. Goff is slinging the rock. The O-line is balling. Lions on offense is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. On the flip side, the defense is their weakness. They have been decimated, absolutely decimated by injuries on the defensive side of the ball. And that could be their downfall, whether it be this week, whether it be later in the year in the actual playoffs. As for the Vikings, it's hilarious that both of these teams are 14-2. You have the Lions, who are having one of the best seasons in their history, and then you have the Vikings, who are just fucking around. Let's not forget, this is supposed to be a tank season for the Vikings, a rebuild year with Darnold as a bridge quarterback for J.J. McCarthy. Just like that, boom! Sam Darnold's playing like a fucking superstar, literal superstar, and this Vikings team is on another fucking level. The Vikings, I feel, are a more balanced team than the Lions, whereas the Lions clearly shine on offense but have weaknesses on defense. Vikings are more balanced in the fact that their offense is pretty good and their defense is pretty good. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings to cover the spread, to win the game. I believe the Vikings are better. Not in total. I should say not on one side of the ball, but more so as a whole. They will win on the hands of their defense. The defense for the Vikings will limit the Lions. The defense for the Lions will not be able to stop the Vikings. Vikings will do whatever the fuck they want on offense. Darnold's going to throw the ball as much as he wants. Jetta's going to have a big game. Addison's going to have a big game. Jones is probably going to eat. And the defense will do enough to slow down the Lions. It seems like for how good of a season the Lions have had, all of it's going to come crashing down right here, right now. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings to cover. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings to win on Sunday night. I am betting it. I really like the Vikings here. I believe they are the better team. They are going to beat the Lions. They're going to win the NFC North, and they're going to finish number one overall. Give me the Vikings to cover. Give me the Vikings to win. I'm betting that shit. Those are my predictions for Week 18 of the NFL season. Stay tuned for more picks and more predictions, whether it be college football, whether it be NFL playoffs. A lot of content's coming soon. Stay tuned for more.